a passionate instigator and dynamic problem solver. Dr. Kevin Ross Emery, the host of the Dr. Kevin Radio Show, will be taking you outside the box, behind the curtain, and identifying the load of BS we are fed every day. And now, Dr. Kevin.
Hello, 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 and welcome to the Dr. Kevin Show, where we challenge everything, we challenge everyone. We're just plain challenging. We're just challenging. Here on OMTimes Radio, where we're changing the world one ohm at a time. Before I bring on my regularly scheduled thirst-quenching first Thursday of the month co-host, just a couple of things to keep in mind. The first thing is, there are a lot of people complaining about what's going on in the world today. You may be one of them. You may be grumbling and grumping. You may be complaining to your husband, to your wife, to your husband and your wife. You may be complaining to your coworkers. You may be mumbling on the subway or on the train station. You may talk about why isn't anything changing, or why are we stuck with all of this crap that we're stuck with. And I'm going to say to you, and what the hell are you doing to make it better? Well, we're giving you an opportunity today to at least do something. You can come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin, MYDRKEVIN, and you will see that today's show is posted at the top. You can ask my guest questions. You can ask me questions. You can share some thoughts or ideas or even opinions on that Facebook fan page. I will be checking it. And then if somebody does something, says something, we will be reading it live on air. Of course, obviously, if it is appropriate. There are a couple of things that are not appropriate. Death threats are not appropriate. Bigotry is not appropriate. And just overall stupid remarks, unless they're funny. And then I may read them just because I could always use a good laugh. So make sure you come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin and participate. You have an opportunity to get your message out in front of lots and lots and lots of people. More than I can count on my hands and my toes, and your hands and your toes, and everybody else's hands and everybody else's toes. So show up or shut up. And that's your invitation to the Dr. Kevin Show. This week's guest, again, is always the same every first Thursday of the month now. We have none other than the madcap Matt Connarton from IPMNation.com.
Yes.
Blah, 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 blah. Just shoot me now.
You know, we have a chat room at IPM Nation, by the way, that listeners can also use if they are so inclined.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yes, at IPMNation.com/live1. They can use the chat room. In fact, if you'd like, I'll keep an eye on the chat room during the show in case anyone should happen to enter it.
Yeah, and you know, if you could, you said it's IPM Nation. What is it?
.com/live1. And in fact, that link is in the Facebook post I shared out about the show.
Oh, well, you know, you didn't expect it. I mean, like, I liked the post and I shared it. IPMNation.com/live1. Sorry, we didn't find that page.
The link doesn't work?
I don't know about your link, but I actually typed it in. I mean, I did that like old-fashioned thing. I actually typed it in. I typed it www.ipmnation.com/live1.
Yeah, or maybe it's a /. I don't know the difference between the / and the / because I just say slash. Okay. Are you using the wrong /, Dr. Kevin?
I don't know. I'm using the / you told me to use. I'm not a slasher. They couldn't find that. They actually changed it back to the one I had at the beginning when I put in the one that goes the other way. They wouldn't take it. Oh, wait a second. Does not match any document. No. So yeah, it's not working. So we got to figure that out. So
I'm there right now. So I don't know what you're doing wrong. Are you actually putting in the www?
Yeah. Am I not supposed to?
Yeah, I would try it without that. I mean, unless you're using a Windows 98 or something. You really don't need it.
Well,
so in this case, maybe it's actually causing you a problem.
Well, you know what? It's not. It doesn't have it as as a thing. It actually here it has it as it's a live one. Oh well, you know what? You have to say the number one. Oh, I spelled one out. To say the number one.
Oh, hit pause on that. On the player.
Okay.
I didn't think to warn you about that. Yes, because you can stream the show through IPM Nation as well.
So I now have the live chat on as well. And where do people go? This is fascinating. I have another source, another place where I can send people. Of course, if they come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin, they're supposed to like my page.
Yes.
You know, not that it's all about me being liked, but it's all about me being liked.
Exactly. Yes.
So, Matthew, I have a topic that I want to kick around on Thirst Quenching Thursday. But, okay.
Can I? Oh, I don't mean to interrupt you, Dr. Kevin. Maybe you were getting to this anyway, but in case it slipped your mind, we have a big event this weekend. I believe you're going to be there, right? At Norm's event?
I am going to be there with bells on.
I'll just be wearing regular clothes, but I'll be there as well.
So I will.
I don't wear bells.
I was going to. I've seen your clothes before, Matthew. I don't know that they would qualify as regular.
Oh my.
But go ahead and put all that information out there, and let's look at that. How can people find us this weekend?
So it's going to be it's Norm's annual spring psychic event, and it's going to be now. I always get this mixed up, so I'm looking it up. It's at the church on Union Street, but I always get confused if it's the Unitarian Church or the Unitarian Universalist or the Universalist or what. So do you know, Dr. Kevin?
I believe it's the UU Church because they're almost all UU churches now, which is Unitarian Universalist.
Okay.
You know, the Unitarians and the Universalists got together in like 1964 and formed one church. But I mean, that church may still get referred to as the Universalist Church because it was a Universalist church for 100 years before, the thing happened, or it still may have stuff like that. So, I'm just putting that out there.
Well, the church, I looked it up. You're right. It is the Universalist. I'm sorry, the Unitarian Universalist Church, the UU Church, and that is at 669 Union Street in Manchester, New Hampshire. And the event runs from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And I was at the last one that Norm had there. And of all the, I've done a lot of events with Norm over the years. And of all of the places that Norm has held one of his events, this is by far my favorite. This is a really cool place, the UU Church. I really like it a lot. I think you're going to be very pleased, Dr. Kevin.
Well, I certainly hope so. I'm looking forward to being. What I am doing is I am trying to see if come visit Matt and I at the Unitarian Universalist Church this Saturday. Give me the address again. 669. Did you say?
Yes, 669 Union Street.
Union Street in Vegas, in Manchester, New Hampshire, from 10 to 4. And it's a great cause, too.
Yeah.
It's a charity event raising money to help out an animal shelter.
Yep. I think it's just called the Manchester Animal Shelter. Yes. It's probably Norm's favorite charity. He's done a lot of events to benefit the shelter, and I've met a couple of the people who work there too, who will probably be at the event, and really good people, and they're doing really good work.
Yeah. Now today is this is terrible. Today is the 7th. Friday is the 8th, so it's the 9th. It's April 9th. I'm actually putting it on there. Some people, you just have to make sure that you spell it all out.
Sure.
So I have put that there. Yes, we will be at that event. And yes, I was going to promote the event on air. I wasn't going to do it first, but that's fine. But we're going to do that. You're going to be offering hypnotherapy, and I'm going to be offering intuitive intervention sessions.
Yes, and I'll probably record some interviews there too. So if anyone who's there, anyone who's doing readings or offering anything, including you, Dr. Kevin, we can sit down for a quick radio interview if you'd like. That will then go up online.
Absolutely.
I like to multitask at these events. That way I never get bored.
Yes, I know. I remember you being at several of my events when I still had a holistic healing center in the Haverhill, Mass area.
Yes.
So we're actually going to be coming up in a minute to our break. So the music's going to be starting any minute. But when we get back, besides my conversation that I want to have to kick stuff around, you've just got your friggin' pants on fire, and I want you to share some of what those flames are all about.
Fantastic, yes.
Yeah, because you've got a lot of stuff going on, which has led to the fact that we have, just to let our listeners know, because we talked about it on air, we are still going to do Intuitive Insights with Dr. Kevin and Matt, but it will not be starting this month. We both got hit with a plethora of expected and unexpected things. And we want to make sure that we do this right. So we're going to be postponing it. I would like to say maybe the first Thursday in May, but I'm willing to make it the first Thursday in June. After that, we need that kind of time.
We'll figure it out. Yep. We're smart.
Oh, and I hear the music very quietly coming in. And we'll be right back.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Come heal yourself. What is healing? Healing is nothing but connecting with your all-knowing higher self that already has solutions to all your problems and is always there to guide you. Through this show, we help you to connect with that you are and tap into that innate potential you have to transform your life and fly high. Please join me, your host Monica Goyal, every Sunday 7 p.m. Pacific. Namaste.
OMTimes Magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organization, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. OMTimes, co-creating a more conscious lifestyle. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
This is Terry Van Horn, and I want to invite you to join me for my weekly radio show, Healing Light, on OMTimes Radio every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. On Healing Light, we want to bring love, light, and blessings into your world. You can find out more about us at www.healinglightonline.com. Blessings.
Bringing a more conscious lifestyle to your world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show, where we challenge everything and everyone. This is the first Thursday of the month. And what Thursday does that make it?
Thirst quenching.
Thirst quenching Thursday. And who
Which
is
is good.
co-host for it?
I'm sorry, Dr. Kevin. What'd you say? I just had to turn up the volume on my board here.
I said, and who is my co-host for it?
Oh, that's me. I know the answer to that question. I'm all smart and stuff.
You want to tell our listeners who you are?
Oh, yes. Yes. My name is Matt Connarton. I'd say the one and only, but my uncle's name is also Matt Connarton.
And I'm sure if I put it in and put Matt Connarton in a Google search, there's probably one or two more of you guys out there in the world.
As far as I know, there's only one other, being my uncle, who spells it the same way. There is a Matt Connarton somewhere who spells it slightly differently. He is a computer programmer. And that's all I know about him. But my uncle and I, as far as I know, we're the only Matt Connartons who spell it the way that we spell it. So we are quite rare.
And you spell it how?
Connarton.
So, okay, well, I guess, we'll find out.
It's a rare name. See, now you've got me wondering, because I haven't Googled my name in a while. Now I'm going to Google my name and just make sure that my uncle and I are still the only ones. You see, you've put some doubt in my mind, Dr. Kevin. Now I'm all paranoid that there's another Matt Connarton that I don't know about.
Well, before you start getting distracted, Matthew, tell us what's going on with IPM Nation.
Yeah, so IPM Nation continues to grow. We've added a ton of new programming. Jen has been very active with that, bringing in new hosts, and our listenership has increased exponentially. One of these hosts, we have a show in the mornings at 7 a.m. Eastern called All Natural Being, which is hosted by Brian Brody, who I'd like to hook you up with him, Dr. Kevin. Actually, he's a guest that you might be interested in having on, and I think he'd like to speak with you as well. But he's got a huge following. He's been bringing a ton of listeners. He does a live show 5 days a week at 7 a.m., 6 a.m. Chicago area. It just this thing has just exploded, and I'm just amazed at. Jen's been doing a lot of work in that vein, and I handle all the tech, but she's been doing a lot of the connecting with various hosts and bringing in sponsors. And
Matthew, you keep on going from like really loud to really soft to the fact I can't hear you.
I don't know.
Back up again.
Let me. I'm just kind of adjusting this mic a little bit. I don't know if it's the mic.
I'm not sure. But it's kind of like, I want you to meet this guy, and he's got this new show, and it's called and I think we would really get along well together, and he's bringing in lots of people, and then Jen is doing a really good job of bringing other people into it, and she's really been.
How is it? Okay, oh, it's not even showing up on the board.
You just went that way again. You just went all like.
Okay, yeah, I just noticed it wasn't.
Yeah, there you go again.
I'm going to switch microphone cords. It might be the mic cord.
Okay.
Bear with me.
You want me to bear what at you?
Okay, I just switched cords, and
I just switched. So, moving right along, there's a lot of stuff going on IPM Nation. And while they're busy with their sound check right now, I'd invite you to check out, Matt's got a show here called Matt Connarton Unleashed right here on OMTimes Radio. But just like my show is simulcast on IPM Nation, he has his own show, and He's got a TV show as well. So you want to kind of check all of that out. Matt brings some interesting points of view and pointed people in with their points of view as well. Matt, are you there? No, I've completely lost him now.
Hey, how about now?
You sound kind of sort of far away.
Really? Oh.
You're so far away. Doesn't anybody? Anyways, me and Carole King, what can I say? Yep, it sounds like you're gone completely now. So you went from in and out to in and crinkly and out to now you're just gone altogether. I'm not sure what's going on. But we are here on Thirst Quenching Thursday. You can go to www.facebook.com/MyDrKevin, and you can be asking your questions or leaving your comments for us to read on air or to share with us. You can also go to IPMNation.com/live and the number 1. Don't do what I did, which was spell it out.
Kevin,
he said live 1. I spelled it LIVEONE. But it's live number 1. You kind of came in there for a second, Matt. I thought I heard you.
How about now? Anything?
Now? You sound almost normal.
Really? Okay.
That means you can't be Matt.
No, I'm his evil twin, Tam.
Tam. Okay.
So you got it? Guys spelled the name backward.
Yeah, I got it. You know what?
Tam doesn't have any facial hair. Because you know how, like, on Star Trek, evil Spock had facial hair, even though regular Spock didn't? So it's like the inverse of that.
Oh, okay. So does that mean that the evil twin Tam is charming and hospitable and highly witty?
Yes. Aren't you lucky to get Tam?
I'm Tam.
So anyway, yes, I was saying earlier, so things have been going great with IPM Nation and really kind of taking off, and Jen's been doing a great job bringing in new hosts. And
yeah, well, I'm actually getting ready to officially move back to New Hampshire, and
good.
Yeah, news. I'm going to be looking for a place to live in the Nashua-Hudson area.
Very good.
Actually, my the boyfriend,
mm-hmm.
And I are looking for a place to live together. So I'm settling back into New Hampshire. And you mentioned once that Jen was part of this really radical group of people that signed this thing to say to overthrow the government of. Can you explain that a little bit to me and the listeners?
Well, Jen's a Free Stater, so she prior to her living in New Hampshire, she signed up with the Free State Project, which is the Free State Project is a movement to liberty in our lifetime, I think is kind of the slogan. And the idea was to get 20,000 people to sign a pledge to move to New Hampshire and and be good libertarians and activists and try to make change here and make the place more free. And actually, they just relatively recently, a couple months ago, I guess now, triggered the move. They had 20,000 people sign up, and now those people are moving to New Hampshire. Obviously, a lot of people were already here, including Jen. She was one of the early movers.
Yes, and shakers.
Yes.
So anyways, well, then there's no need for me to sign anything. If you guys are already full up at the inn, I guess I'll just hang out on the sidewalk.
Well, I don't think there's any pledge for you to sign up, but you could still, do liberty stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you kind of do already. You talk about things like, legalizing cannabis and things like that.
I've been known to talk about legalizing cannabis. And one of the things that actually I want to talk about is one of the atrocities, but we'll wait until we come back to do that's going on the state thing. There's just nothing that makes me smile more, and not the good kind of smile.
The gritted teeth kind?
The gritted teeth kind of smile. Than to be really fully blown in state hypocrisy stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm ready to declare myself as a libertarian. I mean, now this is from the woman who several months ago was like the lead cheerleader for Donald Trump. Now she's libertarian.
Who, Jen?
Yeah.
Oh, she's been off the Trump train for a long time.
Yeah, well, and
she's always been a libertarian.
Yeah, but
Trump is no libertarian.
No, and he's certainly no liberator.
Right.
But I did remember when you came on and jumped in for me when I had a guest that ended up, what we found out afterwards, had gotten sick.
Oh, yes.
Well, that was Andy Craig, and he did come back on the show. He had a health issue, but he's running for Libertarian for Congress for the state of Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And
I heard some of that interview, by the way. It was very good.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do some more very interesting and different stuff. And in fact, I'm in the middle of doing a series that I'll talk to you about when we get back. I want to talk about the hypocrisy of 2 or 3 different states that's going on, because that's always fun conversation. And I want you to tell me more about, because you kind of crackled in and out with some of what's going on with OMTimes, about this guy you want me to meet, what the name of the show was and who he is and what's the show about. But I know that I'm looking at the time and I go, at any minute we're going to start to have that little sidewalk dance that goes. So do you have any other events coming up anytime in the near future, or just this, saving Norm the animal? I mean, saving animals through Norm.
That's really it. I have something I've been invited to on Sunday night, but I'm not sure if I'm going, so I don't want to even mention it. But yeah, that's really it at the moment. Just saving Norm and the animals.
One and the same.
The critters.
I'll talk to you about Sunday in just a second, but we'll be right back. We're here on the Dr. Kevin Show, challenging everything and everyone.
I'm setting through. Yeah.
The future of Internet radio is here. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Live with medium Lisa Phoenix, Mediumship Messages and Musings, explores mediumship and all things metaphysical. Lisa Phoenix invites you to reach above and beyond your everyday experiences, to explore new dimensions in the spirit world. She will do live readings to connect callers to their loved ones in spirit, shares engaging stories and teachings from her own personal experience, and will have intriguing conversations with other mediums, spiritual teachers, and healers to help you understand the metaphysical world so you can connect to these forces in your day-to-day life. Join your host on this magical and metaphysical journey into the world of spirit every Sunday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time.
Simone Milicis would like you to know that business can be fun, which is why she wrote the book, Joy of Business. What if you could have the joy of business rather than the stress and struggle? Most of the time, the only thing stopping you from a thriving business is you. In the Joy of Business book, Simone gives you access consciousness tools and pragmatic ways to get out of your own way and to create the business, life, and living you know is possible and beyond what this reality says is achievable. Business is joy. It's creation. It's generative. It can be the adventure of living. You can purchase your copy of the book through Amazon or Joy of Business website, www.accessjoyofbusiness.com. Being a radio host on IOM FM allows you to build your show on a rich platform with the power of the internet to fulfill your outreach goals and connect with a very specialized and global online audience, unlimited by time and distance. OMTimes Radio will provide you with web relevance, a recognizable conscious brand, and with the standard of excellence that has accompanied every single OMTimes endeavor. Host your show with OMTimes Radio Network.
Hi, this is Angela Levesque, host of Entanglement Radio. Join me Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for inspiring conversations with visionaries in spiritual science and conscious healing. Entanglement Radio, Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern. transcendent talk for the conscious mind.
Conscious media for conscious minds. OMTimes.
Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show, challenging everything and everyone. And we are challenging it here right now with Matthew Connarton of IPM Nation Live. And he is my co-host every first Thursday. He's also going to be my playmate on Saturday from 10 to 4 at the Unitarian Universalist Church at 669 Union Street in Manchester, New Hampshire, where we're both going to be in an event raising money for a charity for the Manchester Animal Shelter. So if you'd like to take a little ride on the intuitive or the hypnosis wheel, come on down, get out of your cage, come on over, and let's help raise some money for those animals. So...
You know what I like about the UUs? Everyone wins.
Yeah. I've been doing a lot of stuff. I've been going to the UU church in Nashua once a week for some of their stuff that they're doing.
Like what kind of stuff do they do?
Well, every first Tuesday, they call it Tuesday, Tuuesday. And the first of the month is the kind of the history. The second of the month, Tuesday of the month, the minister goes over what the message for the month is and takes it into a different level. The third one is spiritual practices that are explored by a group. And then the fourth one is a book group discussing books. And then when there's a fifth Tuesday, it's kind of up for grabs. Matthew, are you there?
Uh-oh. Yeah, you can't hear me?
Oh, I hear you now. I didn't hear you before.
Okay. It's strange. How about now? You hear me okay?
No, I hear you fine.
Okay, good.
Okay, so anyways, so tell me about the Bean Show again really quickly. What is this? Was it the Bean Show? Now I'm not hearing you. If you're talking, I don't hear you. Hello, hello, hello. Come out wherever you are. Hello? Matthew? Well, it looks like Matthew is disappeared again. So I don't know if I'm ever going to hear about this bean thing or not. But if you want to be part of the conversation, come to facebook.com/MyDrKevin. I will be checking messages there, and I will be sharing what anybody has to say.
Hello?
Here. Hello, you're back.
Hey, I am. Yeah, you know what? I switched. It's like the signal isn't coming from my soundboard, I guess. So, I can't take that off. So I switched to my internal microphone on the computer, so I'm sorry if I don't sound as good, but at least this way we know you can definitely hear me.
Yeah. Well, hearing you is a good thing. We appreciate hearing you. So thank you so much. Now back to, tell me about the bean thing again. You have a new show guy on IPM Nation.
Oh, it's All Natural Bean. Yes. Hosted by Brian Brody. It is weekdays at 7 a.m. Eastern on IPM Nation 1. And he does kind of a motivational thing, but it's from a different, standpoint. For example, he talks about self-help industry tactics, which makes a nice little acronym there because he's really skeptical about a lot of what the self-help industry has to offer and the way that they present things. And so he kind of puts his own spin on it. And I don't want to say too much because I want people to listen and check it out. We do have the shows posted on demand on his page at ipmnation.com/Brian Brody. And you can listen to those. It's not a big time commitment. They're only an hour, but it's really good stuff. And he's got a big following online. After you've listened to the show, you might start to recognize his voice in some different advertising radio ads because he does a lot of voiceover work and radio ads and whatnot. But So definitely check out the show. And like I said, I'd like to connect him with you.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you remember this or not, but I actually was I was the lead writer, pretty much the head writer for a pilot for a TV show that was about self-help, about these self-help gurus and these self-help, places that you go and get all shiny and polished. And I wrote a pilot for a TV series about it. And it didn't go anywhere, but I just think it's funny that that's where he goes.
Right. Yeah. You can see him too on the Today Show and Good Morning America, and he kind of makes the rounds. I don't know if you watch those programs at all in the morning, but if you do, you might see him. So.
Yeah. No. Not usually, but you can never tell. So, anyways, well, that's great. I'm glad that things are going great at IPM Nation. What's the ultimate goal with IPM Nation?
Ultimately, I want it to be the biggest, baddest media property in the world, ultimately. But short of that, I'll settle for it being just hugely successful with millions of listeners and viewers.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's go on. Let's talk about this for a second, which is, have you been following the whole North Carolina debauchery? Debacle. Well, actually, there's some debauchery going on. Debacle.
Yeah, they just passed this, they call it religious liberty. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, the whole thing about you have to go to the bathroom that was your biological, that you were born to go to.
Oh, that part of it. Yes.
That's going to burn itself out. I mean, because you have some people that have not switched their birth certificates, and technically the way that they say it is there could be a case made that you're going to have somebody who is 100% functioning male whose birth certificate says female, and the first time he goes into the ladies' room, boy, there's going to be some lawsuits. That's going to blow itself. I mean, that's going to blow itself up. But it was the thing they snuck in, which said that local towns cannot pass basically LGBT laws. Mm-hmm. You know that part of it, right?
Yeah. And I wish, I have mixed feelings about these laws to begin with, because the libertarian in me would like to just not have any new laws. But part of what would be helpful in terms of avoiding having any new laws is if at some point, because, it's the year 2016 and we're still, as a society, as a culture, grappling with this stuff. And it's kind of embarrassing. I wish that we could get past all of this, all the homophobia, all the transphobia, Islamophobia, racial bigotry, religious bigotry, all of it, and just treat each other with respect and acceptance and tolerance. And oh my God, I mean, I wonder, if people during the civil rights movement ever thought that in the year 2016, we would still be dealing with these fundamental flaws in human beings where we're prone to this stupid, pointless bigotry that serves no purpose. And I know a lot of it is religious, because people think that if you hate people who are different from you, I guess God appreciates that on some level, and that gets you into heaven, which is why I say there's no such thing as Christianity, because there's no such thing as Christians. It's frustrating. I really wish we could get past all of this, but we never will. I'm very discouraged.
Yeah. Well, the hypocrisy that really strikes me is when the U.S. government was passing laws of the United States, North Carolina was one of those states running around squealing like a pig that they had overstepped their boundary and they couldn't tell the people of North Carolina what to do. Mm-hmm. Now they're turning around, and there's North Carolina. They're telling the people of Charlotte what they can't do, what they have
Right.
to do. You know, because Charlotte says, hey, you know, no form of discrimination, LGBT discrimination, and blah, 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 blah. It's larger than a bathroom issue. I mean, the bathroom issue, I understand, but it's the issue of basically eliminating cities and towns' rights to make a decision. Now, that's the hypocrisy. If North Carolina says, I don't think the government should be telling us that we have to allow gay marriage in our state, then how can they turn around and say, well, Charlotte, you can't allow LGBT discrimination laws on the books?
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can't have your cake and eat it too. And this is just what always gets me going about the hypocrisy of these people.
I think I agree with you, but I think to play devil's advocate, just quickly, because I know we're going to hit another break in a minute, but I think probably the rationale to answer the concern that you raised is that, well, they would say we're for states' rights, but that doesn't mean, in other words, so we want the state to be autonomous from the federal government, but that doesn't mean that cities should be autonomous from the state government. That's a bridge too far. I think that's what they would probably say. I mean, I don't disagree with you. I'm all for local government, but I think that's what they would probably say to that is, as a state, we have a right to do that.
Well, and as a government, as a federal government, they have a right to do what they did.
Yeah.
Have you heard any updates on the whole shitstorm around the Supreme Court justice? I haven't been following it, but you're always got your head up every political issue going on.
Yeah, I know that it sounds like they're sticking to their guns about there's not going to be any vote. They're not going to vote. They're not going to let it come to a vote, the Republicans. They're going to continue to stonewall on this. And, I think it makes them look bad. I think it makes them look obstructionist, especially when Obama nominated somebody who both Republicans and Democrats liked very much, unanimously, I think, when he went to the appellate court. But now they have a problem with him. I think they look very bad.
And we will be right back.
Free your mind. Expand your soul. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, I'm Miriam Knight of New Consciousness Review, inviting you to my new show where I interview the rising stars of the conscious awakening. We'll explore the many faces of consciousness and action and intriguing perspectives on life, the universe, and everything in between. Join us each Wednesday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the Rising Stars Show.
Have you ever wondered how to change your love paradigm? The secret key is finding a love partnership, not just a regular connection. How do you find these? Through conscious relationships. Ascending Hearts Dating is a dating site for people like you that believes in second chances and a different type of spiritual connection. Try Ascending Hearts for free today at ascendinghearts.com and change your love paradigm. Ascending Hearts, the premier dating community for the spiritually awake. Host your show on IOM FM, the radio network of OMTimes Media, one of the more recognized brand names in the conscious community, and is backed by the extensive marketing reach of OMTimes. Hosting a show on IOM FM immediately connects you with our extensive dedicated community.
Have you been searching for a perspective beyond the mainstream? Check it out. Join your hosts Yelita Pascual and Diana Gold Holland on Share International Radio for thought-provoking views behind the news, Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio. You can also find us at shareontheairradio.org. This may be the message of hope you've been waiting for.
Connecting you with the best of the conscious minds in the world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Hello, and welcome back to the Dr. Kevin Show. This is our last segment, which is normally called What a Load of Crap with Dr. Kevin. But since we're doing our Thirst Quenching Thursday, I'm going to... first of all, I want to ask, so I haven't been getting anything on Facebook. Have you got anything on IPM Nation?
No. I don't see anyone in the chat room, but your listeners are kind of new to the chat room, so
yeah. How would they even get to the chat room? Do they just go there and it automatically puts them there?
Yeah, you go to if you go to ipmnation.com/live1 and then you click the chat tab on the far right of the screen and it'll open right up. You can also leave comments too right there on the page without opening the chat room. So there's really two ways you can comment.
Ah.
Very, very easy. And you have options.
Okay. So I'm just letting listeners know because, I always love getting questions. So anyways, so one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about is, I'm coming back to New Hampshire.
Mm-hmm.
I'm setting my stuff back up, this time in the Manchester, Nashua area. Nashua, basically, and all of the gateway stuff and things like this. I've been gone for 6 years now. So what changes have you found in this area by being here regularly? How has this area evolved, Matthew? Or has it not? Has it devolved?
I think, I wouldn't say it's evolved in any way. I think it's pretty much the same as it always was. If there's anything that's devolved, then I don't want to focus on the negative, but I have to tell you something that does leap to mind, and this isn't unique to this area, although it does seem to be particularly bad here, is the heroin epidemic. That's out of control. But of course, that's the case a lot of places. I mean, that's a national problem. But we're seeing it quite a bit here, and so that's an issue. I think there's more potholes than there used to be. I think they do a worse job of taking care of the roads. Okay, now I'm trying to think of something positive because I don't want to just be negative because I do enjoy living here, but I don't think it's particularly evolved in any way. No.
Okay. I mean, I just wondered. I mean, being gone for, and I've been in and out of the area.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, it's one of those things where I've been out of the area and I come in and out, but I haven't been living here. And I just wonder how things have been shifting and changing and what's been going on. And, do you think the area is any more, less, or the same amount open to alternatives and spiritual stuff? Because, I'm a woo-woo wacko.
No, I think it's still very open to that here. I don't think I don't think you have anything to worry about in that regard.
Well, I just need to know how big a hammer I need to get, how big a shovel I need to get. Not that I worry about it so much. I just want to know how much hard work I'm going to have and, prying all this stuff up. I've noticed that there's been a move for the most part, to a lot of scattered, tiny little holistic shows and new age shows and stuff like that. And nobody seems to be doing anything big anymore. When was the last time you saw a big show in this area?
I can't remember anything really big lately, to be honest with you. Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. It's hard because with a big holistic show, as with any kind of major event, if you're trying to do something really big, not that what Norm does is, I wouldn't say small. I mean, he's got a lot of readers and ends up getting a great turnout most of the time. But if you wanted to do something really big, really major, like I'm thinking about maybe you're thinking of her too, Angie Danjou. She used to do some really big events. But it's always a risk, It's like, it's no different than, in some ways, I come from the music industry, and it's no different from being a concert promoter.
in a lot of ways. There's always a risk. You could make a ton of money, or you could end up in the red. And I think that drives people away from doing that. And I think that might be why, you see a lot of small events, but not big events. I think it's just nobody wants to take the risk. Can't say I blame them. I watched Angie make a lot of money, and I watched her lose a lot of money too,
Yeah. I'm having dinner with Angie on Saturday night.
Oh, no kidding. Oh, please tell her I said hello. I haven't seen her in a few years.
Yeah. I actually saw her. I stopped by a holistic fair, a small holistic fair that was going on last Sunday, and I got there at 2, and the show was from like 11 to 6, and at 2 they were packing up and leaving because no one had showed up.
Oh, really?
But I wonder, now that there's so much more available, and some of it's real crap, but there's also some quality stuff, so much available on YouTube, on the internet, on stuff, is it making people less motivated to go out and listen to a bigger event where you have a lot of speakers and a lot of subjects? Because you can basically, Google, YouTube, almost anything.
Yeah, that's true. And maybe there's a saturation problem, but at the same time, what you do is on a much higher level than a lot of what you see on YouTube or wherever. I'm a firm believer, and I mean, it's an old cliche, the cream rises to the top, but I think that, one thing about the internet, the barrier of entry now for so many things is so much lower than it used to be. Whether it's, working in the kind of field that you work in and utilizing YouTube or other aspects of the internet to do that. Anyone can do that now. Doesn't mean they can do it well, but anyone can kind of put themselves out there online. It's the same thing. Again, I'll go back to the music industry. Now anyone can record a song and put it on YouTube, and, it might get lost in like a needle in a haystack, but anyone can put anything out there. So not a bad thing by any means. I mean, IPM Nation wouldn't exist were it not for the fact that certain opportunities are available now that were not there 20 years ago. But I think as long as what you present is of quality and is of value, I think you'll stand out no matter what. I think you can be, and I mean this sincerely, Dr. Kevin. I'm not just saying this because we're friends. I think that you could be a big fish in a small pond, but I think you also have been, and can be anytime you want to, a big fish in a big pond. I don't think the size of the pond matters in your case.
Well, thank you for that. I mean, part of it is, it depends on what I want my balance of life to be. And one of my, and you and I have talked about this before, one of my commitments at this stage in my life is I don't want to work as hard as you have to work to stay as a big fish in a big pond. Mm-hmm. And because the thing about, the bigger you get as a fish, the more little fish are nibbling at you and taking bites out of you and doing stuff. No matter what the field is. Mm-hmm. And, I don't want to work 80 hours a week. I don't want to work 60. I don't want to work 40. I want to hang out and, work with 10, anywhere between 10 and 20 serious people that really want to take the journey and do the work. And maybe that's once a week. Maybe that's once every couple of weeks. Maybe that's once a month. But I'm not doing like when you met me, at different periods, like when you come down to the healing center, I do 35 to 45 hours of clients a week. Never again.
Yeah.
I'm here for serious people, and everybody else can go Google something on the internet.
Right.
And I'm only gonna take so many. As I'm setting my practice up again, I'm like, I'm not going back to the halcyon days of tons of staff and a big center to support and a big amount, and a big nut to crack every month. Not interested. So, I mean, it's going to be an interesting thing. Now, do you have a barrier to entry for people being host on IPM Nation?
Oh, certainly. We do. We won't take just anybody. But we do have a variety of programming in terms of, we have a lot of political programming across the spectrum. We have music programming. We have shows like this, like Brian on All Natural Being. We have, just a lot of different stuff. We have some sort of conspiracy theory oriented programs, all kinds of stuff. We have comedy, a lot of humor. So we try to, we're not interested in being a niche station. There's a lot of that out there. But we kind of went in the complete opposite direction and said, let's try to have something for everybody. Let's try to appeal to as large a demographic as we can so that we give everybody a reason to come and visit IPM Nation and hopefully find some surprises there that they weren't expecting and get exposed to some different kinds of programming. We don't allow anything, no bigotry, no hate. But other than that, we're free speech and we're wide open to all kinds of stuff.
Okay, I'm hearing our closing. Matthew, I'll see you on Saturday.
Yes, I look forward to it.
Okay.